Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra, the first Sports Extra of the year 2020. A very happy new year to all of you who are tuned into PTV World right now. New year, of course, we've got some new bunch of updates for you lined up, but we've got to discuss how 2019 has been, especially in terms for Pakistan cricket as well. We've discussed some highs and lows throughout the years. Of course, international cricket returning to Pakistan, Test cricket returning to Pakistan has been the biggest highlight at the same time as well. But I think more than that, we've got some quite detailed things to ponder upon and how we're going to see cricket for Pakistan in 2020 as well. We've got a T20 World Cup, we've got the PSL, then we've got the Test Championship that is underway. So a lot to discuss in terms of cricket. We'll also be discussing the British Junior Squash Championship that is happening in Birmingham in England. Pakistani contingent is there, and definitely also to give you updates of the PSL schedule that is out. In studios, I've been joined with cricket analyst, and he's played a lot of cricket for the UAE, and he's played a lot of county cricket as well, Mr. Syed Mohammad Awais. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Well, I'm good, thank you.
So 2020 is here, the very first show. You're the very first guest. I'm sure you're feeling very proud and energetic. Yeah, but Chairman PCB today said that he's happy with the way 2019 went for Pakistan cricket. We can say that because of the decisions that were taken, or the structure that was changed, or some other managerial changes as well. But in terms of cricket, what would you say? It's been a little down for Pakistan cricket throughout the year.
See, Ahmed Bhai, obviously, I would say the 2019 cricket for Pakistan was brilliant in prospect of getting PSL back to Pakistan, getting the international teams to Pakistan. The World 11 too was over here to Pakistan. And it's in the I would say in the 2020, but you are getting news that MCG would be visiting Pakistan soon. The South Africa would be visiting. Our Bangladesh tour is under process. Then the PSL being played in Pakistan. It was a brilliant, I would say, year for Pakistan in this prospect. Yes, on the other point of view, I would say by the cricketing activity especially, it hasn't been a good year for Pakistan in the prospect of one-day matches. I would say we haven't performed superbly in the one-day matches played abroad, especially in the Australia. I would say the South Africa wasn't a good series for Pakistan. Again, I would say the T20 series we lost to Sri Lanka badly. Then the Test match, except this Test series, the rest Test series weren't good for Pakistan. Then Sarfraz Ahmed being axed up, from the Pakistan squad by his performances. And obviously, then the good things again, I would say the domestic structure being changed up. Many of them even criticized the domestic structure. Even I say one thing that, yes, the Pakistan Cricket Board are doing the level best to change the Pakistan cricket, especially the domestic structure over here. But we even need to change the surface of the wickets, especially of the domestic structure, because changing the ball, changing the, I would say, the format, structure, the format won't actually change the surface of the wicket. The batsmen were going on for bulk of runs. They were scoring 400, 450. Remember over here before touring to Australia. And when they toured Australia, it was a total different atmosphere, bouncy track over there. It's never easy to play in Australia.
We just had the Qaid Azam Trophy final. We again saw Lahore getting Central Punjab, getting 640 runs. Umar Akmal scoring a double century, Azhar Ali scoring a century. So again, we see batsmen dominating.
See, but that's the point I'm saying. It's a good sign that batsmen are dominating up over here. But see, you need to be on the other prospect when you're touring to the areas like Australia, New Zealand, I would say, because England is more, I would say, a batting kind of a track. You don't see more swing in the wickets. But when you're traveling to Australia, especially when you're playing at heading, when you're playing at Gaba, you have got bounce with pace over there. Your batsmen were struggling. If you remember, they were even able to pull the ball. So this is the thing where the Pakistan Cricket Board now needs to think on. Your structure needs to change, the infrastructure. I'm talking about the stadiums. Then the wickets need to change up over here, because see, your first challenge was to bring cricket back to Pakistan. Alhamdulillah, you have succeeded in it. But the real challenge now starts for Pakistan. It's about the infrastructure getting built up, the new infrastructure being built up over here, because you and me were in the Rawalpindi Stadium, if I remember. Even our producer was in the Rawalpindi Stadium. And I remember I was speaking to even the Pakistan cricket management, some persons. I said that, fine, this is a brilliant international stadium, but we need to change the infrastructure, because when you're actually hosting a country like Australia, England, you just have to look through their mind. What stadiums are they playing on, and what stadium?
There's another factor, because you've played a lot of cricket in the UAE as well. All over the world, we're used to stadiums having a lot of other facilities. You've got a health center, there's a proper sports club, there's a hotel with it as well. But here we just see ordinary stadiums that were built in the early 90s, and up till now, they're still the same. Still we see Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium only being able to accommodate 25,000 people. And now you're having a bunch of PSL games here in Rawalpindi. I don't think that's enough capacity.
Well, obviously, Ahmed, I mean, see, I was there in the Rawalpindi Stadium yesterday. I mean, I was jogging up over there, and I was just watching the, I would say, the building phase again of Rawalpindi Stadium, because it's just 1 month left on for the Pakistan Super League to start on, less than just 1 month, I would say. But the activities would definitely start on early on over here, because Islamabad United will be practicing in the Rawalpindi Stadium. So they were trying to make some changes up over here. But rightly pointed up, the capacity is the main thing. 25,000 people, I mean, because if you just watch out, if it's little bit jam-packed, this city actually attracts a lot of people. And if I'm not wrong, the test match which was played up over here in Rawalpindi was the most entertaining test match I've seen ever. Why? Because of the crowd I'm speaking about.
Jam-packed stadium, yeah.
I've never seen, I know that the people actually compare this with the Oval, they compare it with Brisbane or with Gaba, but that's a different kind of a crowd, and this was the energetic crowd I'm talking about. Believe me, it was an energetic crowd that I've never seen in a test match. So you know that this stadium attracts a lot of people, so why can't we change the venue again? I would say they need to build up a new stadium in Islamabad, or can they extend the capacity of it? But it won't be possible, because Rawalpindi Stadium, you know, the nearby area, it's jam-packed. They can't extend the capacity. Yes, they can at least build the steps again. I would say the highest steps go up and all that. The roof step, what we have in Australia, it goes up. I mean,
make another stand up.
Make another stand. And they need to do it. Again, I would say the infrastructure of Pakistan Cricket Board now needs to change up. I mean, you need to invest in the infrastructure.
Invest in it, definitely. 2019 has been a lot of grey, as you mentioned, for cricket itself, for Pakistan, in terms of their performances. Three major changes that we saw. One, you talked about the captain being axed, that was Sarfaraz Ahmed. You saw new captains in the likes of Babar Azam and Azhar Ali for the limited over format. Now recently we saw Misbah-ul Haq taking over three important roles for Pakistan cricket: chief selector, head coach, batting coach, and Azhar Ali is a test captain now. How do you see this combination now for 2020? We know test championship is still continuing. Babar Azam as a T20 skipper and as the #1 batsman in the world. Pakistan, of course, as #1 would be going into the ICC T20 World Cup. So there's a lot of work for this new management and the new staff and the new captains.
Ahmed bhai, I mean, the first of all, again, I would say the real pressure would be on Misbah bhai, I mean, because he's having that not just the 3 jobs now, a franchise job too. I mean,
Islamabad
and believe me, if I'm not
which
wrong,
I was against. It shouldn't
I'm
happen,
against too, I mean, and believe me, I think so many of the Pakistan Super League franchises are against this, if I'm not wrong. I mean, because see, when you're definitely affiliated to one of the franchises, the affiliation of the player would be more as compared to the other franchises. So this was real thinking about me, that Pakistan Cricket Board really needs to think about that. I mean, if you're a Pakistani coach, a senior coach, I mean, you never need to be with a franchise. They need to have the step up over here. And it was the same stance when Mickey Arthur was the Pakistan coach. He never should have been with the Karachi Kings. Secondly, I mean, Azhar Ali, I would say that, yes, I mean, he had bad patches. Remember when he became first captain of Pakistan, we lost badly in the one days. I think so 2 to 3, 4 years back, I would say, we lost badly. His captaincy wasn't good. Rawalpindi, when the cricket came back to Pakistan, he scored runs. Even in the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, he scored runs. So he's gaining that confidence again, I would say. We need to back him up. I mean, he's the captain of the Pakistan, and looking at the Pakistan Test squad, he's one of the senior campaigners and eligible for the test captain. Yes, one day in T20 again, I would say that's a question mark. I'm sorry, I might be wrong, but that's a question mark for me, because Babar Azam, yes, he's a brilliant batsman. Everyone knows him, but not a good captain again, I would say, because he has never been groomed under a captaincy again, that you need to be a captain in the future. Yes, he had been captain for under-19s Pakistan. He has captained the region team, won the region cup for them. But that's an international level again, I would say, because remember when he was the captain of the Pakistan team for the Australia tour, it clearly looked on his face that he was under pressure, because captaincy level is something else. So this will be a real challenge for Pakistan Cricket Board, whether either they're going to be continuing with him for the World Cup, or would they have some changes again over here, because this is not official again, I would say. There's news coming up that not Sarfaraz as a captain, but Sarfaraz might be included in the Pakistan one day or in the T20 squad. I mean, it might be in the T20 squad, because Rizwan's T20 performance hasn't been up to that mark.
Yeah, so that is an option that we might see happening in the near future, but time will tell. We're also discussing PSL, of course, and this edition of 2020 is happening entirely in Pakistan. And apart from Lahore and Karachi, of course, the National Stadium in Karachi, Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, two new venues have been added to the roster to host PSL matches. One of them is the Multan Cricket Stadium, and the other one is the Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium as well. So if you just get our team of Sports Extra to show you the schedule of PSL, that is there. Of course, the entire schedule is also there, which has the details of these games, the dates and the venues as well. Then we'd have a better idea of how things will be proceeding. Avais, you happy with these two venues that have been added?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, because Ahmed bhai, I remember I was with the Multan Sultan team when they had the exhibition match at the Multan Stadium.
Yeah.
And the players were staying at the AMG Hotel. That's in the Kent area. I mean, it's around 15-20 minutes from the stadium. And the energy of that city, I would say, believe me, it was more than Lahore. I belong to Punjab area, but believe me, it was more than Lahore. And this, I remember when the Pakistan versus Sri Lanka test match was going on in Sri Lanka, and I was speaking the same thing to the media and said that, I don't know why don't they actually opt Multan for this test matches or for one-day matches. I know it's a foggy weather right now. You can't play a test match in Multan, but still it's an international proper stadium build up, beautiful stadium. And I'm really happy for Multan because I mean the way I remember Multan actually welcomed the Multan Sultan over there, it was jam-packed. I knew that it was the people were rushing to the stadium to get inside, and I mean the crowd, I remember on the roadside, I would say it was jam-packed to watch the players going to the stadium. I mean the way they were welcoming up, they are welcoming, they are a good, I would say, welcome people, I mean, who welcome the cricketing nations. And I'm happy for them, and especially Rawalpindi, the way Rawalpindi actually held up a test match. It was due to, I would say, that rain interrupted in between, but the crowd actually has given a question mark to the Pakistan Cricket Board that should Pindi Stadium be available for one-day T20s or not.
What would be the difference on the two teams that would be playing? Islamabad, of course, is going to consider it a home ground, and Multan is going to be playing in Multan. Do you think there'd be a sort of a difference when you have a home support?
Obviously, Ahmed bhai, see, I mean, I've told you one thing. I remember the people used to tell us that one because I had two different parts of the countries. I mean, I remember when I used to tour Quetta, and one objection and one complaint what the people used to have on, and it's even a request from the Quetta Gladiators from this platform. I would say that it was that why does Quetta not play a match in Quetta? I mean, why don't they have a franchise in Quetta? What I'm talking about is that, remember Lancashire, Nottinghamshire, they have a store in the city
those cities,
where you can buy this stuff and all that, your jackets and all that, Quetta Gladiator shirts and all that, blah blah and all things. Why don't they have this? They really complained about this. I mean, they wanted the Quetta to play in Quetta, and it was a good decision by the Quetta Gladiators owners to get that players to Quetta when they won that PSL championship. I mean, that really lifted the Quetta momentum, and it will be obviously because see, when Islamabad plays on, the Twin Cities definitely would be there to support the Islamabad United against Multan. When Multan plays in the Multan Stadium, I told you how energetic that crowd was. I hope so Lahore Qalandars gives a good spark in this Pakistan Super League because they haven't been able to perform on. But again, because Lahore, everyone knows how the crowd reacts on. Yes, Karachi, I would say it's, I hope so the crowd comes on because, I mean, it's a big stadium, not easy to full on.
But even their side must surprise you. They've got Dean Jones as their coach, and they've pulled out a lot of players in their side. Babar Azam's there, Imad Wasim's there. It looks like a pretty dangerous side this season.
See, Ahmed bhai, one thing is good about Karachi. Again, I would say what I haven't seen in the franchise of Lahore from many times, it's that they don't depend on one player. I mean, they have got a unit that they know that this is a batting unit, this is a bowling unit, and this is an all-rounder unit for us. Unfortunately, Lahore have always been, I would say, relied on one person or two person that they would give a good start. Then we would obviously carry on. They should just forget this in this season. I hope so they perform well. Karachi Kings, Dean Jones, I mean, he's won 2 titles for them. And remember, he was a strong contender even for the Pakistan coaching. I mean, unfortunately, he wasn't the coach. But yes, he's a brilliant brain, I would say. He's a brilliant guy. I mean, everyone knows that. I was obviously shocked when the Islamabad United did not carry up with him for the PSL this season. So let's hope, I mean, he goes good with the Karachi Kings. I mean, it's just not Dean Jones. He's got Wasim Bhai with him. I mean, the brilliant cricketing minds are with them.
And these two were instrumental when Islamabad won the first.
That's the thing I'm saying. Islamabad won on. So it would be really brilliant to watch on how Karachi King now cops up with this. I mean, because they haven't been a good season for them, the previous PSL seasons, especially the first 2 editions weren't good for them. They had a strong team on the paper, but not a brilliant team on the ground. They need to change this aspect over here, and let's see what happens on.
Definitely, let's see. And obviously, you can get your hands on tickets when the sales open up for these PSL games as well. We just told you that they're happening in Multan, at the National Stadium in Karachi, the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, and at the Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. So you can talk to Awais if you want tickets as well.
No.
Maybe he has a bunch of tickets.
Nothing.
But like you mentioned, it's going to be a lot of branding, a lot of flavor once again. But we might just see a couple of new names considering that the T20 World Cup is coming up.
They should be. I mean, see, unfortunately, you know, I mean, we have been discussing from so many long period of time, I mean, that the other teams, they have the T20 team ready by 5 to 6 months early on. They carry with that, I mean, to build a strong playing 11 for the World Cup. Unfortunately, it hasn't been with Pakistan, I would say. I mean, we actually announced the name of the players who were selected when it's just around 20 days or 30 days left on to for the World Cup. This PSL, again, I would say, because you're going to be playing a lot of T20 matches. You don't have white ball cricket, one-day cricket in this year. You have got more T20. Even the Asia Cup T20 is before the World T20. So you need to have a strong T20 side for the World Cup, again, I would say. And especially because many of them, even I was going through the Twitter today and watching out, the bowling unit of the T20 of Pakistan, you got Shaheen Shafri, you got Wahab Riaz, he's superb in the BPL going on right now.
Naseem Shah is there.
Naseem Shah is there.
Mohammad Hasnain would be
Haris Rauf is the brilliant contender. I would say, I mean, he's going to be giving a tough time to Hasnain, believe me. Because the expectations, what we had from Hasnain, yes, he has performed. He's a youngster. I don't want to go, I would say, I don't want to be behind him that he hasn't been performed. But the aggression what a fast bowler needs on, I've been a fast bowler, believe me, Ahmed bhai, I've seen that in Haris Rauf. I mean, he's aggressive and he's back to the squads of in the Australia Big Bash. So he's going to be an eye-opener for Pakistan. How he performs in the Pakistan Super League, that's the main point up over here. And you need to at least groom these guys for the World Cup again, I would say. It's just not that you pick them after the Pakistan Super League for any series. You need to get them to the NCA, get them groomed up, get them solid for the Australia too.
How important do you think this PSL is going to be for Sharjeel Khan?
I was watching his latest video playing on the cement wicket. I mean, he's still got that germs in him. I mean, see, I see him as the T20 World Cup opener with Fakhar Zaman. I see him. I might be wrong, but believe me, I see him as a T20 World Cup with Fakhar Zaman as an opener. It might be Sharjeel and Babar, it might be Fakhar or Sharjeel, but I see them. Because you need him. Again, I would say whatever happened on that's past over here. I mean, but you need an aggressive opener in your lineup. I mean, because see, Imam is a brilliant one-day batsman, one-day test match player he can be, but he isn't a natural T20 player. Don't spoil him to get him the T20s. You need an aggressive. I mean, yes, Zishan, a guy from domestic, has been under a lot of talks, I would say. I don't know whether will he make it to the T20 World Cup. It depends upon the PSL, how he goes on up over there. Then even Rohil Nazir has been a strong contender. So it's a good sign that strong contenders are coming up, but Sharjeel Khan, if he carries the form, what he had, what he left on, he is definitely going for the T20 World Cup.
And he's playing for Karachi, and considering that the star-studded lineup Karachi has their coach as well, he's been playing under Dean Jones before as well, all chances that he might just be successful with Karachi this season.
See, Ahmed bhai, I mean, he went through the rehab process. I mean, remember, he even visited the Pakistan team, I mean, to confess whatever incident had been. And he has been under the Karachi radar now, I mean, because he has been playing up for Karachi, he's going to be playing up, he's been practicing in the Karachi UBL complex. And he looks solid again, because the video I was watching on, he looked solid, whether even if it wasn't a, I would say, a domestic match, but a player when he plays on, you know how strong he is. He has gone through, I would say, a bad time. Now he's back up over here. He has worked hard. I've seen his fitness going on. He's been strong up over there. But again, it depends upon his performance in the PSL. Yes, I don't want his scenario to be like Ahmed bhai or Umar Akmal. I mean, that they come to the Pakistan team. What I personally feel so, that they were under a lot of pressure. I mean, they weren't, when they came to bat on, they weren't said that you need to be free, play a natural game. It was something else. It was that if you perform, you're going to be in the Pakistan team. So the Pakistan Super League management don't need to do that. I mean, they need to keep him simple. Get him to play his natural game. I mean, tell him that you need to be naturally fit. Play your natural game, what you're known for. And if he does, I bet you, I mean, he's going to be in the Pakistan squad.
Right. Awais, thank you very much for your time on cricket, and it's been great talking to you, but we'll keep you engaged now. We'll just come back. We're definitely going towards squash now, where we've been letting you know that the Junior Squash Championship is happening in Britain. This is the British Junior Squash Championship that is happening there. A Pakistani contingent is there, and they're representing Pakistan in 4 different categories. They've been practicing at Edgbaston. They've been having a good amount of training in terms of their physical fitness, their techniques, all under the watchful eye of their coach, their manager, and their trainers as well. And these young boys have already, some of them, achieved a lot for Pakistan, and they've got real potential. When we've been talking to the experts who are with these boys, they're also hopeful that Pakistan would be winning big in this British Open Junior Squash Championship. Of course, we know that 4 categories is the prime thing that Pakistan has focused on in this. Apart from that, I think squash, if we look at the year ender in 2019, has achieved a lot in Pakistan with the Pakistan Squash Federation in collaboration with the Pakistan Air Force, of course, achieving a lot. So many international tournaments happening in Pakistan. We've seen so many players going towards international tournaments elsewhere apart from Pakistan as well. You've got guys like Farhan Mehboob, Tayyib Aslam, all of these guys who are really the new names for squash for Pakistan. Of course, we've enjoyed a lot of success with the likes of Qamar Zaman, Jahangir Khan, Jansher Khan, who've brought a lot of laurels. And now I think it's time for these boys to shine, because the culture of squash is finally developing again. We had a great patch, but we've finally developed it again. Now, we've been joined on telephone line by manager for this Pakistani contingent that is there to tour Britain for this British Open Junior Squash Championship, Mr. Hussain Udwani. Assalamu alaikum, Hussain. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. Good evening.
Right, tell us the few updates that you have now, considering that the tournament is just a couple of days away now. How do you see the training of these boys, their routine, and how ready are they to face their opponents?
Ahmed, the event is starting from tomorrow, 2nd January, and the environment is getting tense. The players from around the world are coming in. We are at this time present at the Edgbaston Club, and the players are practicing since morning. And for the last 3 days, they have a very tough routine of having the exercises and the practices. So all are in full form, and they are with a very high morale that hopefully we will achieve some good results out of it.
Right, how do you see the focus of these boys? Because we know some of them have already represented Pakistan in another international event in Thailand as well. They've got some experience. They know what it's like to be in that pressure situation as well. So we're very hopeful that they can muscle up that mental toughness as well.
Definitely. This is an advantage of few of the players because they have been playing the international matches, and they know about their competitions, and they know that how to act in the tense environment. So hopefully major matches will be with Egyptians, who are the world champions. Yeah, definitely few of them have a very good advantage of it. And we have very high hopes from the category of under 15 and under 17 actually.
Right, thank you so much, Hussain Udwani, the manager of the Pakistani contingent that is participating in Britain. Of course, we'll be giving you the updates. The tournament starts from tomorrow. We're all hopeful for our young players to participate and win big for Pakistan. The entire nation is, of course, behind them as well. We've been talking a lot about this tournament. These are young boys who have been able to achieve so much. We will be talking to some other individuals as well. And we're going to try to get our phone call towards the coach of this Pakistani contingent, Mr. Asif Khan, as well, and talking to him how these young boys feel, what's the training like, and how confident is he for Pakistan to achieve big in this tournament as well. Of course, this is the British Open Junior Squash Tournament that is happening in England, and the Pakistani contingent is there in Birmingham. The Edgbaston Priory Club is where these boys have been training. They had an extensive training session yesterday as well, and like Hussain just updated us that since morning these boys have been training and they're all set for the tournament that begins tomorrow. Now, I've been joined on telephone line by Mr. Asif Khan, the coach for this Pakistani contingent. Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum assalam, sir.
Alhamdulillah, sir. What would you like to say about the training of these boys, because you are the coach, you are the one who is mentoring them, who is training them, their techniques? How confident are you for these boys to win in this competition?
जी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारी नेशनल एकेडमी में ये 1 साल से कैंप लगा हुआ था, जिसमें हमारे पास ये जो 10 लड़के थे इनको हमने प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग करवाई. इवन के इजिप्ट में भी इनको भेज के ट्रेनिंग करवाई और प्रॉपरली मेंटली इनको हमने सेट करके लाया है. और लास्ट टाइम हम सेमीफाइनल खेले थे और इंशाल्लाह मेरे मालिक ने चाहा तो इस दफा हम जो है ना गोल्ड लेके जाएंगे.
Inshallah, sir, we sincerely hope so. Sir, you talked about the training in Pakistan and Egypt as well. We know since 2019, Pakistan squash is now at a new stage. We have a lot of training centers here in Pakistan. The Pakistan Air Force and the Pakistan Squash Federation are working together. A lot of international tournaments happening in Pakistan as well. How do you see the technical aspects of these? Are you satisfied with the arrangements that we have for squash in Pakistan, with the facilities that are here in Pakistan now?
जी, ये पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन का मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि जो हमारे बच्चों को जो है ना स्पॉन्सर्स करती है और हमारे पे चेक एंड बैलेंस रखती है। और अभी भी हम यहाँ पे आए हुए हैं तो ये पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन ने ही फंडिंग की हुई है। और पाकिस्तान में जगह जगह अकेडमीज बनी हुई है जिसको वो वॉच करते हैं। और ये जो पाकिस्तान के जो टॉप प्लेयर होते हैं वो फिर पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन उनको जो है ना नेशनल अकेडमी में लेके आती है और इंटरनेशनल इवेंट्स खिलवाती है। जैसे कि हमारे साथ नूर जमान है। नूर जमान ने अभी रिसेंटली इस्लामाबाद में जो टूर्नामेंट हुआ उसमें वर्ल्ड नंबर 92 को उसने बीट किया। तो ये मेरे लिए एक बहुत अच्छा मैसेज है कि इंशाल्लाह हमारी अच्छी प्रोग्रेस आएगी ब्रिटिश जूनियर में।
Inshallah, sir, we hope so. The entire Pakistani nation is praying for you and your boys as well. And we sincerely hope that you bring us some international medals, inshallah. Of the team, Mr. Asif Khan, and what he was saying, I'll just quickly translate it. He said that he's very hopeful for these boys because they've been training a lot since the past year in the National Squash Academy in Pakistan. And these boys, some of them were also sent to Egypt for training as well. Now, this is very important because when we talked to the senior vice president of the Pakistan Squash Federation, Air Vice Marshal Amir Masood, he was very keen on the Egyptian model as well. He said that their model is something that needs to be witnessed and implemented in a country like Pakistan as well, because they're very, very focused when it comes to physical fitness of their players, improving their techniques as well. But it all boils down to the stamina and the physical fitness. And he was very hopeful that with the focus that is there now on squash, that the physical fitness of these young players, and even for our national players who are participating in senior categories, in both male and female categories, we will be achieving big and we will be improving our physical fitness and stamina. Now, we've been joined on telephone line by Pakistan under-17 player Mr. Noor Zaman. Noor, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
वालेकुम सलाम, क्या हाल है आपका?
Alhamdulillah. Noor, how do you feel with the tournament starting tomorrow? What is the feeling? How is your training?
मैं बहुत अच्छा फील कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि इस दफ़ा मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत की है। लास्ट टाइम मैं इस टूर्नामेंट में आया था, मैंने सेमीफाइनल खेला था और इस दफ़ा मैंने बहुत ट्रेनिंग की और मैं इस दफ़ा इंशाल्लाह गोल्ड लेके जाऊँगा।
Noor, how do you see the facilities for young boys like you in Pakistan? Because we know that since the last year, squash is improving in Pakistan. We have a lot of facilities now. We have international standard squash courts. We have physical trainers for you and your team mates as well. How do you see these facilities as a squash player?
मैं सबसे पहले पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन का बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा, पाकिस्तान एयरफोर्स का और सरीना होटल का, क्योंकि लास्ट मंथ पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन ने मुझे $20,000 में वाइल्ड कार्ड दिया था। उसमें मैंने वर्ल्ड नंबर 92 को बीट किया था और मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ सरीना का जिसने हमें $20,000 में स्पॉन्सर किए। और जिधर भी इंटरनेशनल टूर्नामेंट होते हैं पाकिस्तान में वो सरीना स्पॉन्सर करती है और मैं पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन का शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा। जिधर भी इंटरनेशनल की जूनियर टूर्नामेंट होते हैं उधर हमें पाकिस्तान स्क्वाश फेडरेशन दी है।
Right, thank you so much, Noor Zaman, and best of luck to you and your fellow teammates as well. We are hopeful that we win big in this British Junior Squash Championship. Of course, this is happening from tomorrow. We'll keep you updated with the results. And just to catch on what Noor said, he was very thankful to the Pakistan Squash Federation and the Pakistan Air Force. He said that we've been taken care of very well. We're being given the proper training and the facilities that are needed. And he said last time he reached the semi-finals, but this time he's very hopeful, inshallah, to win this tournament in his category as well. And all the best to Noor and of course his fellow players and all the Pakistani contingent and of course the management that are there in Birmingham as well. Now Wes, before we conclude the show, we've got to see 2019. The chairman PCB also said that he was very satisfied with the way things have gone. We did mention two important events. One is of course the 2020 ICC T20 World Cup and the Test Championship. But there is a lot of talk about the share of cricket that Pakistan is playing. We've talked about that a lot. Two things which come to my mind. What are your thoughts on having more Test cricket for Pakistan in this year?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, you get more test matches for Pakistan. It's just not about that, you know. I mean, there's news coming up that the big three again might come into role, and the South Africa has, I mean, been against that. The Pakistan even needs to, the cricket board needs to do these steps again, I would say, to get that out. I mean, see, especially the test matches, if you just watch the test championship, I mean, Pakistan is rated number 3 in the test championship right now. But if you just watch that calendar, what Pakistan is going to be playing, I mean, we haven't got many test matches as compared to the other countries like Australia, England or India. The big three, they have got more test matches as compared to the other countries again, I would say. So the ICC now, I mean, the ICC needs to realize, I mean, they need to play, I would say, a positive role up over here. I mean, they need to finish up the things going on. It previously happened up the big three, I mean, that was finished. Again, they're trying to reinstate that. I mean, the ICC needs to step up over here. It needs to be same for every cricket board. It's just not the test nations, even for the
non-test playing
nations too, I mean, because I remember I played for UAE as a non-test nation, Irish captain, I mean, he once cried and he said that they're a strong contender. They always have been on the top for the qualifying rounds. And I remember Porterfield crying once, saying that that means we don't deserve to be playing cricket for the ICC. The ICC needs to be positive over here. The Pakistan Cricket Board needs to speak to the ICC now, I mean, because the Test Championship was played in Pakistan. The cricket is reinstated up over here. I hope so Bangladesh comes up because they haven't.
But just on that, the PCB has been very aggressive now on their stance. They've said that Pakistan will no longer play their home series anywhere else in the world. You think this is the stance that is needed now, and the ICC should be accountable for bringing teams to Pakistan?
See, Ahmed Bhai, your Test Championship was played in Pakistan, so that's obviously that this the cricket is back to Pakistan. I mean, the ICC now needs to realize that they need to step in, I mean, speak to the cricket boards that if you don't play in Pakistan, you're definitely going to be losing up the points, I mean, and especially because now it's a proper test arena for Pakistan. And it's a brilliant stance again by the Pakistan Cricket Board that if we want, you need to come to Pakistan to play cricket. We're not going to be touring anywhere. I mean, the home series won't be played in UAE anymore. And it's a brilliant side. See, why I don't understand one thing. The players, the overseas players who don't want to play in Pakistan, they wish to play Pakistan Super League. Is it because they're being paid more wages as compared to the other touring nations, or what it is? I mean, remember the World 11 players who toured right now to Pakistan. Even Thisara Pereira was in the Sri Lanka squad, but his statement came up that he's suffering through, I think so, through dengue, so he wasn't available for Pakistan. The Pakistan senior Sri Lankan team did not wanted to play T20s over here. They lost that T20. They came back to play test matches, and it was brilliant. I mean, they had that messages, tweets on the way the Pakistani crowd welcomed them, I mean, and all that. So the other nations now need to understand that. They need to realize, I mean, everyone definitely was having an eye on the Sri Lankan tour. They would be having an eye on the Pakistan Super League, the Bangladesh tour, and especially the biggest news for me was to get South Africa to play in Pakistan, because they have gone through isolation. They know what isolation means.
But there's something fishy about Bangladesh every time, isn't there?
See, I mean, one thing again I would say, if the Bangladesh Cricket Board has got so many issues, why their players contacted the Pakistan Super League to, so that means they wanted to play in Pakistan. Why again it is?
So it was the board that was manipulated by India.
That's the thing, I mean, because even there was a statement that the ties need to be okay with the Indian, I mean, whatever they want to, but cricket does not need to be affected by the politics.
Playing BPL. So.
I mean, so that's the thing, the cricket does not need to be affected by the politics up over here. I don't know what the Cricket Board of Bangladesh want to. First, they had that statement that the management or the coaching staff want to visit Pakistan. Then the coach statement came up by saying that if they allow us, I would definitely be visiting Pakistan. So what's going on? The Cricket Board needs to really needs to be strict up over here, and it's a good stance again, I would say. I back the Pakistan Cricket Board, and the public definitely are backing them up, that yes, if you want to play, come to play in Pakistan, because India has gone through this, England has gone through this, everyone has gone through this, then why
New Zealand
is it Pakistan?
went through this.
Remember, Bangladesh was just 10 seconds,
Zealand,
10 seconds late, I mean. So, I mean, they have gone through this period, then why with Pakistan? So, it's a brilliant stance with the Pakistan Cricket Board, and they need to stick with it.
Wes, thank you very much for your analysis and, of course, your detailed verdict on this. And you're absolutely right that cricket now needs to happen in Pakistan, nowhere else in the world. We're going to leave it at that. But before we go, definitely, like we mentioned, 2020 is now here. You're in the new year as well, so you've got to come up with all of your New Year resolutions and stick to them, especially when it comes to sports. We've been seeing so much cricket in Pakistan. We just witnessed a fantastic winter sports event known as the Sadia Cup that happened at Naltar. Then squash happening also in Pakistan. A lot of games happening in Pakistan. And I think it's about time that Pakistan becomes a great destination for all kinds of sporting events, because we've got the northern areas terrain, we've got the deserts for Jeep rallies, and anywhere else in the world, you won't see all of these in just one place. We're going to leave it at that from me and the entire team. Until our next show, it's goodbye for now.